Okay, first off, no, I don't know what my hair is doing. I'm just letting it vibe right now. So, if you're wondering what this is, I don't even know. What's going on, everyone? Welcome to this video. So we are nearly 1, 2, 3 math. We're nearly like 3 months away from Jurassic World Dominion, and so I thought, since we're getting close to the movie's release, I would show you guys my Michael Crichton book collection that I have. So if you guys don't know, Michael Crichton is the original author of the original Jurassic Park and Jurassic Park: The Lost World books. If you didn't know they were books originally, because I know a lot of people that know the movie didn't know that it was a book originally. Well, now you know. But I have fallen in love with Michael Crichton's stories, his writing, and I have a handful of his books. I've read a handful. There's still a handful I need to read. But I thought I'd show you guys which ones I do have, and show you which ones I have read, which ones I still need to read. But yeah, so let me know if you guys have read any of Michael Crichton's books down in the comments below. I'd love to hear which ones are your favorites if you have read any, which ones you were intrigued about, and which ones I need to check out. So we're going to start off, of course, with Jurassic Park, because that's kind of the inspiration for this video. So I have my beat up copy here, but this is the original Jurassic Park book. I actually read the book before I saw the movie, and so there's a lot, in the book that didn't make it into the movie, but that's also because, like, in the book, they describe so much more of what went into making these dinosaurs and stuff, where the movie just can't because of runtime and whatever, and description and everything. So, there's so much more detail in the book that you miss out on, in the movie. But either way, I found that reading the book made me appreciate the movie a lot more, and enjoyed it a lot more. But I also think reading Michael Crichton's books initially got me more into sci-fi, because I really like sci-fi. I kind of think I like sci-fi books a little more than movies, but maybe I just haven't watched enough movies to really dive into it too much yet. There's a few movies I'd like to see still in the sci-fi genre, but I love Jurassic Park. I love the Rise of the Planet of the Apes series. I really should watch the original Planet of the Apes movies. But anyways, we have Jurassic Park. This is the first Michael Crichton book I ever read, and again, watch the movie afterwards. Then this next one is my all-time favorite book. After reading it, I fell in love with it. I literally read this book in like a week time span. And look how chunky this book is, okay? I believe it's close to 700 pages, and I read it in like a week. So I'm not the biggest reader. I go into these phases where I like to read, but I'll go into these phases of like I want to read, and I'll read like a ton, at once, and then I'll go a time where I'm not reading like at all. But Michael Crichton's books are definitely like my adult books, the books that I got into when I kind of got older and stuff, because growing up I read like The Magic Tree House, I read the Candy Shop War, Percy Jackson, 39 Clues, all that. But his books are the ones I got into as I got older, which he actually has very rare sequels. He never liked to do sequels. There's only rare occasions that there are sequels to his books. So most of these books are just standalone stories. They don't connect to anything, like this doesn't connect to Jurassic Park at all. But State of Fear is probably my favorite book I've ever read. It is chunky, but it's basically like about these like set of different groups of people. There's a few different people you're reading about within the book, and eventually their stories all kind of come together. But it's basically about global warming and how it kind of affects these different people in different ways and whatever. So it sounds boring, but it's actually really good. Again, I love how Michael Crichton writes. This is definitely my favorite that I've read so far. Now, one I have not read, but my mom actually has read, because I got her into some of the Michael Crichton stories, got her to read some, and she read one called Airframe. I have not read this one yet. Honestly, I just pick up Michael Crichton books when I find them, because I like to thrift store them, find them at thrift stores and stuff. But Airframe is one I've had, but I have not read yet. I need to read it, especially since my mom, has read it, and she really liked this one. So, I don't know, let me know if you guys have read this one. Is it good? I'm excited to read it, obviously. This one seems kind of like a chunky one, too. Most of his books are chunky books. But we have another one I have not read, which is A Case of Need. Honestly, don't know what this one's about, to be honest. This one's kind of one of those more obscure ones. It says, the classic novel of suspense. Fantastic. I loved it. Apparently Stephen King read it and commented on it. Now, another one I started reading but couldn't get into it as much, so I need to start it over and try it again, is Congo. This one actually was turned into a movie as well, so I'd like to finish reading it and then read the book, or finish reading this, then watch the movie. But yeah, so I started reading this. You guys can maybe see my bookmark, but I need to start it over and try it again. This one's actually kind of smaller, for Michael Crichton. But yeah, this one was, it says from Paramount. I wonder if this is on Paramount Plus. Random thought. But yeah, I couldn't get into this one a whole lot. I need to give it another go. Again, just start it over and try it again. But you got Congo. This one's one of his newer books. So Michael Crichton has passed away quite a while ago now. But he has a bunch of unfinished manuscripts, and his family is letting these authors take these unfinished manuscripts and finish writing them and publish them. So this is one that's like that. It is Pirate Latitudes. This was a book from a manuscript that was unfinished, and someone else kind of finished it for him. I believe. Anyway, yeah. But this is one I've not read yet either. This one would be interesting because it definitely doesn't seem sci-fi. So different kind of story for Michael Crichton. Then we have The 13th Warrior, which is actually the movie's title because they made this into a movie. The actual book title is Easters of the Dead. But this is one I've not seen, so I need to read this one and then watch the movie as well. So I don't know why they changed the title for the movie, but if anybody else knows, you can tell me. Alright, another one that was an unfinished manuscript that got published more recently is Dragon Teeth. I'm really excited to read this one. I'm interested to see what this one's all about. But I've heard this one's pretty good for what I've read. Other people saying about it, but this one's a more recent release. I'm really excited to kind of see what this one's about. It looks interesting just from the cover alone. Then another one I have not read is Disclosure. I don't really know what this one's about either, but this is after he published Jurassic Park, it looks like, because this is author of Jurassic Park. But yeah, I don't really know what this one's totally about, like something about a computer industry, but I'm interested to see what this one's about, but I've not read it either. Now, The Lost World Jurassic Park is one of his rare sequels, because again, he didn't really do sequels, but I've not read the book yet of The Lost World. I've seen the movie countless times now, but The Lost World was one of those where I believe Steven Spielberg wanted to make another Jurassic Park movie, so he asked Michael Crichton if he'd write another book. And so, like, that's the only reason there's another kind of, Jurassic Park book. Otherwise, Jurassic Park 3, Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom, and now Jurassic World Dominion are all just its own stories, not based off of any books. But I need to read this still. Now, one I actually have read is The Andromeda Strain. So this is actually pretty much like the book that made him popular for his writing. But this one I thought was really, really good. It's basically about this like alien virus that kind of drops down from Earth, drops down to Earth, not from Earth, to Earth, and basically just like murders a bunch of people. And so there's this secret laboratory underground that's kind of looking into it and trying to analyze it and figure out how to protect everyone from this virus and everything. Which, funny enough, I actually started reading this when the COVID pandemic started. So, great timing. But yeah, this was one of his original books that really made him popular and like gave him a name for writing. And then recently, he had an unfinished manuscript for a sequel to that. And so that just got published not too long ago, called The Andromeda Evolution. I will say this one wasn't quite as good as the Andromeda Strain, but some of the plot twists in this one that connected to the original book was like, whoa, like, wait. Like, it really paid off in this book. I'll say this one felt slower than the Andromeda Strain, but when it had its moments, like, they really paid off in this book. So I really enjoyed this one. Then another one I actually read in high school during one of my like reading classes. I had a class where I literally would just read. Like that was the whole point of the class, was just to have time to read. But one of them I read was Prey. This is basically about like these nano particles. Like they made these like tiny little, like nano computer bugs, I guess you could say. And they kind of went AWire and just started eating everything in its path because it was going to be used as a military weapon. And so then they kind of have to figure out how to stop them and whatever. This was a good one. I think I took a hot minute to get into it, but once I did, it was a really good one. So I enjoyed Prey quite a bit. Then another one I have read a little more recently, I think I read this one in 2020, is Next. This one was really interesting, and it had kind of some creepy plot twists towards the end. Kind of just like unsettling, more or less. But this one was really, really good. Took me a minute to read it, but this was a good one. I would recommend this one as well. I think I still enjoyed State of Fear a little more than this one, but this one was pretty up there from what I read. I think I enjoyed this one a little more than Prey, actually. But I think I still enjoyed the Andromeda Strain more. Now, two others. One that I'm realizing I didn't bring in here. But I'm currently reading Timeline. I've been reading that one forever. I need to just finish it. But that one's a time travel one, and it's really good. Again, that one's kind of slow. It's finally picking up like right in the middle of the book. But it was kind of a slower start. But that one's good. I need to finish that one. I will say a lot of these books can kind of have slower beginnings because there's a lot it has to kind of explain. I mean, and most of them are chunky books. So another one I have read, I don't have it with me because I actually had let my ex-girlfriend borrow it to read it, and then never got it back at this moment. But it is called Sphere, and that one I loved. That one is like close, such a close second to State of Fear. But that one, oh my gosh, that one was crazy. It was creepy. It was intense. Such a good one. If you guys like, if I have to recommend any one Michael Crichton book that I have read, even though State of Fear is one of my absolute favorites, I think Sphere would be the one that I would recommend, because that one really, I think, would intrigue a lot broader audience. But it's basically like it starts out sci-fi for sure, but then it turns into a psychological like thriller horror, and it's so good. I want to see the movie of that really bad. I heard the movie's not amazing. Oh well, but I do want to see that one. The other movie I want to see too is the Andromeda Strain. There is a movie for that. There's also like a mini series that they did for that I want to see. But yeah, those are all the Michael Crichton books that I have, and the ones I have read and have not read. I'm sure there's a bunch more out there that I still need to get. You know, I just kind of search when I can and pick up them and read, you know, just kind of casually. I'm not, again, not the biggest reader, but when I do, I try to read. You know, I at least try to get through one book a year, at least. That's kind of like my minimal goal for me. But let me know if you guys have read any of Michael Crichton's books. Again, let me know if there's any I should be reading here soon, or if there's ones that you guys are interested in. Let me know. Maybe I could do like book reviews on these if you guys would like. I don't know. Some of them I feel like it's been a long time since I've read, so I don't know how well I do, you know, how much I'd remember. But let me know if you guys would like some book reviews on these at all in the comments below. But also, I'd like to know if you guys would like to see the rest of my book collection. I don't have like the biggest book collection, but I have a sizable amount of books. So let me know. A bunch of things in the comments below. Let's just have a chat down there. Again, I read every single comment. Even if I don't reply, I do comment back. But if you're new here, press that subscribe button. It's free and you get to chill with us. So what could be better? And yeah, that's going to do it for this video. Get hyped for Jurassic World Dominion. I'm super excited for it. Definitely hope that they're going to pull more out of the original books, you know, from The Lost World and Jurassic Park in that movie, because I know like the Jurassic World movies have been pulling a lot from The Lost World that kind of wasn't put into the movie of that, but we'll see. Anyways, guys, that's going to do it for this video. Thank you all so much for watching. I'll catch you in the next one. Goodbye. You guys are always so far away now, so I can't like... Peace out.